Welcome back, everyone. We've had two episodes, 2 sessions with this fountain so far. 3 if you count the deleted one we did that we don't talk about, where we got really political. I think we more or less have this entire outer area clean. Well, maybe not. We start things off with an itchy ear today, huh? I could have sworn that we had taken care of all of these little areas. But I will double check. Oh, snap. Okay, good on us. I'm not seeing any more. Oh. Well, now that might be a problem. I'm sorry, Mr. Gnome. How dare I? How dare I indeed? I forgot he's undercarriage. Oh my god. I forgot his undercarriage. I don't see any more dirt. But it's telling me there's some there. Oh, Lord. Apparently I missed a lot. Get his fanny all cleaned. His haney, his fanny, his earth. You're all clean, Mr. Gnome? Mr. Jerome Gnome. Oh. I hear a doggy. Boy, I raged out yesterday on some Simpsons Hit and Run, let me tell you. Those Apu missions are awful. I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video to figure out how to do the next part. I'm still not used to my new schedule yet. It's still odd to me. Waking up in the mornings and streaming during the day and having all day to work on various things. I kind of wish I'd done this years ago instead of just kind of, you know, taking control is really changing things for me. I wish I had the courage and the gumption to do it a long time ago. I think it really always boiled down to motivation, honestly. I've never really had a lot of motivation because I really don't ever have anything going on. So, you know, let's do though. I'm thinking about it. We'll move some stuff around in my desk here. Move my keyboard closer to me that way I'm not overstretching my arm to do this. I woke up last night. I guess I'd fallen asleep on my left arm. That sucker, it was beyond just my arm fell asleep. It was hurting. Like I had collapsed most of my weight on it. Like, and I don't mean just on my arm and it fell asleep. I mean, it was like bent in like this and I was putting weight on it. So I'm still feeling it today. It scared me too, because when I woke up, I was like, ooh, I've never felt this pain before. Oh no, and it's my left arm. Is this it? Is this how it ends? In the sleep? Is it the big heart attack? Elizabeth, I'm coming home. I do constantly worry about the big heart attack. You know, I'm getting older. Don't take the best care of myself. It runs in the family. So I do worry about it. I think about it more often now than ever. I shouldn't. I shouldn't live in fear like that, but I do. You know what? Let me do it this way. Let me focus on the underneath part here, and then it'll be easier to get when I stand up. Cover more area more quickly. Now, it'll be easier to do this. I don't remember what year this game came out. I think it's been around for a good while. I remember watching YouTubers play this years ago. It feels like, I will say this, it feels like a different era and a different lifetime ago. As far as my streaming is concerned, it definitely feels like I've entered a new era for myself. You know, I'm not waking up at 2 in the afternoon anymore and then fiddle farting around and streaming for a little hour and then calling it a day and thinking I did something. You know, I'm being way more productive these days than I've ever been before. Or that I used to be when I had a normal life. I started playing Monster Hunter World again, which at this point was kind of an abandoned playthrough. I'd always intended to go back in and finish it and work on it, but just never did. The funny thing is, one of the main reasons before that I decided to redo it was because the first time I did Monster Hunter World, back when it was relatively new, I did a full playthrough plus the Iceborne DLC. And I was running on a really old graphics card, so the playthrough did not look good. And I thought, you know what, let's redo it. We have a really good graphics card now. We're Uptown Jim Brown. It should look decent. And I got to looking at the episodes that I had saved on my hard drive yesterday, and it still looks awful. That was back before I started saving hard copies to my hard drive. When I upload them to YouTube, that's what I do now. I save everything. Every episode I make of anything, I save a copy. Before, I would just download the video from YouTube after uploading it to YouTube, so it would be compressed so I could save space because I didn't have a lot of hard drive space. And that led to a lot of, you know, pixelized, artifacty videos. And I don't know that I'll ever have clean copies of my stuff again, because once you upload it to YouTube, it's over. They compress the hell out of it. That stuff might as well be podcast era. But it's funny because it depends on the game you play. Some of my earlier episodes still look pretty good, but then they're being played like on the Switch or something. Or maybe it's an emulated game and it looks really good despite being old. I don't know. It's a gamble. I can't really figure out why it does that. But maybe the newer episodes of Animal Crossing, Monster Hunter I put out will look decent enough. Because I'm neck deep into the Iceborne DLC now, and I still have Monster Hunter Rise to play, and Wilds, and half a dozen other Monster Hunter games. So you know, I really want to get back to kind of playing that on a regular basis, because it's actually one of my more favorite franchises, believe it or not. It's very involved with the grinding and the armor and the stuff. There's a lot to it I don't like. I'm really simple. I kind of just like fighting the monster, but I'm going to try and get more into it. Try to play it the way it was meant to be played. Good try. But I'm pretty sad that despite my best efforts to make those episodes look decent, they still look artifacty and blurry. I just don't know what I can do to make it any better. You know, build a NASA level PC. I don't know. I can't afford that. Almost nobody can afford that, especially now. Especially now. Hey, it pinged. Can we get the rest of you get a ping? Got to get our ping on. Get your ping on. Get your ping on. You guys remember that? Get your freak on song. Rap and whatnot did hit differently in the 2000s. I've never really been a big fan of rap, period. But my God, the shit that passes for rap today is just atrocious. Of course, I'm getting to the point where I've turned fully into an old man where I'm like, music today, because I hear, like, if I go into a store or something, I'll hear. When in the car, I try to use my phone and only listen to YouTube, but on extremely rare occasions, I might turn the radio on, and my God, do I regret every second of it. Even the rock music ain't the same. To me, it feels like it has no heart and soul. It just feels like it's a by the books, like a paint by numbers situation. Like, yeah, it hits all the beats that it's supposed to hit. You know, kind of like modern movies. There's not really too much creativity left. It's a paint by numbers situation. And I think a lot of video games have fallen into that same rut to where it's like when they sit down to make a game or a movie or a TV show, they open a book. This says, well, it's got to have this and this and this and this. Very devoid of merit and soul. Just. I could have swore I did this part already. Maybe that was on that first run that we deleted. I kind of want to start following people on YouTube and Instagram who do power washing or pressure washing. I think I did follow one account yesterday. That's what I'm going to watch from now on. I'm just going to sit there and watch people do this all day. Hey, it's satisfying. It beats all the other trash that I could be watching. This is a very elaborate fountain. Let's cut through this graffiti. Oh. Might take us a little time, but we'll get there. We'll set you straight, get you all cleaned up. I will miss this playthrough when it's gone. Thankfully, I don't think we're going to finish this anytime soon. There is still so many jobs left to do. Game is huge. Even when you think you got it all, there's still a little nook or cranny you missed. I wasn't expecting that. Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do it from this angle too to get that part. Damn. Okay. Yep. That makes sense. It feels like a lifetime ago when we started in that backyard and did the little shed and the barbecue grill and the patio with the patio furniture. That feels like a lifetime ago. I have the Majora's Mask music stuck in my head. What I've been doing is I change what I play every day. We're playing Majora's Mask, Simpsons Hit and Run, and Power Wash. And I rotate them out every day so that I don't, feel burnt out. It's nice, especially if you have like a rough day with one of them, you know that you're not going to have to fight with it tomorrow. And that really helps. That really helps. Hmm. Damn. I started to say, I wonder if we'll ever do a skate park. We did a skate park already. Oh, how quickly we forget. Okay. Let me just jump up now. Get you from this angle. Get it pill. Oh, it's gonna be hard to. Probably have to get the ladder. Well, how did I get it on the other side without the ladder? Yep. Really? Just like that? Okay. You say so. I disagree. That's one of the bigger reasons I disagree right there. Look at all this dirt up under here. You're always pinging and giving me the all clear when it's not all clear. You gotta let me get all the dirt. We're glad when this section's over. We can get up to the tip top. This has been the worst part. I know, it's very satisfying, isn't it? Of course, it varies from person to person because sometimes it can kind of be frustrating, especially if you have OCD and you want them to clean a certain section and then they're like, if you're like me, you're kind of scatterbrained and you wash different sections at different paces. It's made me want to buy a pressure washer IRL. Start washing stuff. It's been many years since we pressure washed or power washed the side of our house. It could probably stand a good pressure washing. Well. Okay, I should have. That should be all of it for that part. What am I missing? Does it count the... yeah, I bet it does. I bet it does. The hint system is a lifesaver, too. It helps you find that teeny tiny little 1% that you missed. Wish I had that IRL. Especially when I clean my bathroom. I'm always like, oh my God, there's going to be one tiny spot somewhere that didn't get cleaned. It's going to drive me insane. Especially since so much of our bathrooms are porcelain. Sink, toilet. It's all white, and sometimes it could be kind of hard to tell. I see you hiding. The dirt. You kept watching YouTube videos but never made it to the live stream. Yeah, it's my schedule is all over the place. Typically, I've always, did my streams in the afternoon or the evenings, but I've been on a new schedule and I've been going live so early in the morning, and preferably I would like to stream in the afternoons. Maybe I can get back to that, but right now I'm on mornings. But I appreciate you being here. Oh boy. I feel like they really missed a big opportunity here with this, not grabbing more like IPs to add to it. Because this green really screams Planet Express shut from Futurama. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Back to the Future pack. I want to say I grabbed that. We can clean the DeLorean. Enjoy the series. Yeah, this has probably been one of the more chill things I've ever done. And it is, I do want to play number 2 at some point. I didn't realize this one was going to be as big a game as it turned out to be. And it's always a gamble too with the simulator games. Some are really good, some are really fun, and some are really bad. And it varies so wildly because they're all made by different people. I'm still not used to this keyboard and mouse stuff yet. Let's see. Did I miss any spots? Too close. Ooh, you know what I would really like to power wash? One of those 1950s movie theaters with the super exaggerated Art Deco on the front. I guess it would be a 30s movie theater. 30s and 50s are the two that stand out the most in my head. I miss a. No. I think I more or less got this middle section down. Just got to start working on this part. Well, you're not going to let me. You're going to be real stubborn, aren't you? So I forgot who it was, but somebody said in chat not too long ago, we've used an ocean's worth of water, like an entire city's water reserves, water reservoir. We've used so much water doing this job. But wait, I can't jump with the ladder, so how do I get it in there? Hold up. Now hold up. If I can't jump with the ladder. Oh, there we go. I was about to say, you expect me to get... Okay. Uh-oh. That one didn't ding. All right. Let's find out why this one is, oh. That might have a little something to do with it, I suppose. Yep. There it is. Found it. Found the spot. I missed this entire section. How'd that happen? I was all ready to move up top. Look at all this filth. How dare I? Mm. I think this is like the most satisfying way to do it. It's not really how I ever do it, though. Just going back and forth. Really pinging whatever it is in our brains that make us like this so much. Speaking of pings, I just realized we've made it to 80%. It's not bad. It only took us like 3 or 4 episodes. Ow. Oop. This little part right in here is going to be tricky. Not impossible, but tricky. Lord. So many finicky little nooks and crannies. Look at that. Well, I guess we'll have to take the ladder and go around the outside and get those tough spots. Yeah. We'll have to use a ladder for that. Okay. It's not as problematic as I thought it was going to be. Whoops. Can I scoot over without falling? I need to be on the side of the ladder. Quite it. Okay. Damn. Okay, let me move you. Right. No. Haha. Sorry, bear with me. Again, I'm not used to keyboard and mouse. This is alien to me in the hardest, most frustrating way possible. But there was no way I could play this game with a controller. I tried. It just wasn't happening. It was not on the table as an option. Oh, it's very far away. Now that you're here, so far away, and I don't remember the lyrics now. Sting still make music? I haven't listened to music in a long time. Honestly, I quit listening to music around the same time I started doing this, about 9 years ago. I just got frustrated because I want to use music. I want to listen to music while I stream. It would be great. I mean, think of how cool that would be if streamers could like listen to their favorite music while streaming with you guys. But no. Copyright. All that did was just drive me away from music. So you shot yourself in the foot with that one. Not that I was going to pay for it to begin with, let's be completely honest. I'm sorry, but LimeWire ruined music for everybody, or ruined the monetization of music for everybody in the late 90s. Everybody learned how to use LimeWire. It was over. Then everybody learned how to do torrents all together. Learned how to really do them efficiently too. You know, get you your little NordVPN subscription and you're good. I think, in my opinion, what really hurt them was the fact that they got greedy. Got real greedy. And I never did get on. I never did get on board with streaming music either. I listened to the radio, then I bought CDs in the early 2000s. Then when the MP3 craze hit, the iPods were always too expensive. I also didn't like the fact that they weren't plug and play. The fact that you had to have iTunes really turned me off. I remember wanting a Zune, but never being able to get one. By the time I could finally afford to get a Zune or an what are they called? iPods or any of that stuff. By then, like smartphones were a thing, and I was like, well, I might as well just buy a smartphone. I remember the early era flip phone stuff. Everybody had a little flip phone. But then even if you had a Zune or an iPod or something, they wanted you to repurchase the music that you already owned on CD. And I wasn't going to do that. And that's something that comes up from time to time on this channel. It's like the repurchasing of media we've already bought over and over again. For me, it happens mostly with video games more than anything else, especially at my big age. Like, how many times can I buy the same Mario game? It's been 40 years. I'm not going to keep buying Mario NES. No, no, no. All right. I really want to make sure that I have all the lower parts done. Let's see a spot. Sheer spot. Which is why, like the Switch Online service is really a neat idea, because just include it with your console, Include all the old classic games we like to play. The only problem is they don't have a lot of the rights to the old stuff, so they can only really put out their first party stuff. And that's where ROMs and emulators really come in handy. And it's funny because I feel the same way about MP3s and music. It's like, how many times do you think people have bought the Beatles albums? Decade after decade after decade. That's just an example. They have to rebuy those albums every time a new format comes out too. It's too annoying. It's too much. Especially nowadays, life is so hard and expensive and everybody's struggling. Now, you've kind of painted yourself into a corner where people can't and don't want to buy that stuff. I've backed up almost every song that I want, that I like, from the bands that I enjoy. And all I did was just rip them all off of YouTube. I know they're compressed and they're not going to be the most perfect quality in the world, but you know what? They're free. Because a lot of that music I already bought and paid for, and I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. I'm not going to buy the same stuff over and over. I might complain a lot about a lot of different stuff, but I feel like that's a valid thing to complain about. They want us to pay for the same media for the rest of our lives, and I'm just not going to do that. It ain't happening, I tell you. It ain't happening. And the whole Spotify and all that stuff, I didn't fool with any of that crap. I ripped all the music from YouTube. It took a few years to do. Folder full of thousands of songs. And I just put that shit on my phone and listen to it whenever I want. They could suck a big fat egg. But Eric, you're live streaming. You're putting this out on the internet. You're admitting to crimes. Am I? Or am I lying and making up conversation? They even tried to capitalize on the YouTube music thing. Like, you want to listen to music on YouTube and be able to, like, put your phone on black screen or whatever. You have to pay for this. No. I'm not doing that. Nope. There's YouTube Premium. You can buy movies and TV shows on YouTube. You do any of that, you're a big fat sucker. And I think the ease of access is what kind of made people just cave in. I dug my heels in. I refused. When streaming took off, I was like, no, I'm not doing Netflix. I'm not doing Hulu. I'm not doing any of that. No. Just no. Because back then I was still torrenting my TV shows. I don't anymore, but I was at the time. So a new Simpsons or South Park episode came out, I would either wait a few hours for it to be up on Pirate Bay or whatever other website. Then I would go get it and watch it. And they can bitch about it all they want, but it aired on television for free. I just wasn't on cable. Like, and it's funny because we've been paying for cable nonstop for like 30 some odd years. I don't use it, but they do. They have a TV on the other end of the house with cable connected to it. God knows why. But so if they want to get pissy about it, we did pay for the cable access. So any bullshit argument they pull up, I'm just going to counter it with my own bullshit argument. But I felt like you know, music just didn't want to be heard anymore. And I think fundamentally that's the problem with art being a job and getting paid for your art, which I'm not saying you shouldn't get paid for your art, but I am kind of low key saying you shouldn't get paid for your art at the same time because people don't seem to be able to separate the two. Like with my hot take and my personal opinion is that art should be free. You know, you should be able to express yourself through art and give it to the world. The monetization of like music and literature and even paintings, pictures, whatever, that's a gray area for me that I'm not a big fan of because culturally, you know, art is one of the few things that does seem to survive the test of time. Nations rise and fall, peoples come and go. The world changes so rapidly. Humans really can't keep up, but one of the things that does survive the test of the time is our art. Our music, our paintings, our culture lives on through us in art. And when you put dollar signs in front of that, you're really getting into some dangerous, dangerous territory. Um, which is why I don't, and this is probably going to be polarizing and piss a lot of people off, but as far as by today's standards, some of the artists I respect the absolute least are modern internet artists who they'll be like, original character, do not steal. And I'm just like, nobody wants your fan fiction Sonic character, bro. Fucking chill. But I am flooded constantly on Instagram by solicitations from people like, do you want some banner art for your channel? Do you want some profile pictures? You want some emojis for your Twitch? And I'm just like, nah, no thank you. I'm not rude. I'm not hateful. I'm just like, no thank you. Because whatever I have, I either make myself or our good friend Lewis here, who's often in chat, does it for us. You know, I mean, I ain't asked him to either. When I first started doing this, I had a little generic Jurassic Park profile picture. And then one day Lewis was like, here, look at what I made. And he made the most glorious cartoon face of me I've ever seen that is hilarious. And I love it. And I've been using it ever since. So, you know, if I commission something from somebody, then yeah, sure, I'll pay for it. That to me is different. Like commissioning art for a reason. Like, let's say you want a portrait of your family to hang up. Yeah, pay the artist to paint your family. You know what I mean? That to me is totally fine. Like a musician being paid to do a concert or a venue, that's also fine. I'm not saying you should never get paid. Like don't get it twisted. Don't twist what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you have to be careful about how you monetize different forms of art and media. It needs to be done tastefully, I guess is what I'm saying. Very, very tastefully. Because I know on YouTube, Nobody respects fair use whatsoever. Everybody's copyright claiming everybody, even when they don't own stuff. I get hit with them all the time from these third-party companies that I've never heard of, that nobody's ever heard of. And I'm like, no, homie, this music doesn't belong to you. This music belongs to Nintendo. You know what I mean? I'm constantly getting hit with those people trying to claim like, ooh, Mario World Overworld thing playing by Hot Music 2000, whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, no, you don't own that. And you shouldn't be able to copyright flag my Let's Play. Bullshit. But you know, we wouldn't have a lot of the art that we have today. We wouldn't have the Mona Lisa if we were worried about putting a paywall behind every little thing we did. I definitely have gotten to the point where I'm so frustrated with YouTubers too. In the chase for the almighty dollar, YouTubers have gotten so annoying. They bleep everything. They censor everything to the point to where it's so cringy now just to watch anything on YouTube. Even like scientific videos, documentaries are doing that too. Like I can't even watch a documentary anymore without it being censored to hell and back. I'm just like, please stop. It's out of control. Yeah, but nothing makes me more agitated and makes me laugh at the same time than people who do the original characters and then do not steal. No, first of all, My Little Pony doesn't belong to you. Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't belong to you. That shit's copyrighted. That shit belongs to a major multi-million dollar corporation. Your little original character, nobody cares. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Nobody cares. That's why I could never look at DeviantArt with a straight face. And I'm not disparaging the fact that people will sit down and make original characters. Don't get it twisted. That's totally fine if you do. Maybe you do comic strips. Maybe you do fan fiction. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying that's not a valid pastime. I have read fan fiction in the past. Most of it was bad, but I'm aware of it. It's a valid pastime. I feel like I should say that with all the like harsh stuff I'm saying about it, but you know, it can't be taken super serious. It's going to be very interesting how I get down in here and get these gnome parts. I don't want to fall off. I do know that the internet has kind of made us very soft. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, we've gotten to where we can't, like, take an opinion that we don't like and just simply disagree with it. We have to, like, make a big thing out of it, you know? I have to write a 12-page nasty-ass comment, yelling and fighting and people doxing each other and making threats. Heathens don't know how to behave on the internet. The way some people act on the internet makes me wonder how they act IRL. It's like, how were you brought up? I would be so embarrassed if I acted like a heathen on the internet. Even with the anonymity of the internet, still, I would just personally be embarrassed for myself. That's what made Twitter so hard to use back in the day. I remember being on Twitter. I could go in and post something like, the other day was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? I could go on Twitter and post Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody, and leave it at that and say nothing more and nothing less. And the comments that I would get, oh my God. Just the most hate-filled trash. Yeah, I mean, he really messed up Twitter when he bought it and took it over and turned it into a Nazi platform, like a safe haven for them. But honestly, it was trending that way long before Jackass bought it. I don't have that problem now. I primarily use Threads or the community tab on my YouTube channel. And I don't really ever get, knock on wood, of course, I don't really ever get any negative, hateful comments anymore. That really just seemed to be a Twitter issue. I mean, even on my YouTube, nobody's really leaving nasty comments. I wait for it every day. Every day I wait for it, and it just never happens. And I'm like, ooh, so thankful. Again, let me knock on all the wood. This is going to be the hardest part of this entire fountain. Cleaning these little guys. Get back to the easier part right here. Right home. I do need to sit up. Oh. But yeah, it would have been nice if we could listen to music while we do streaming. But the powers that be couldn't have that. Not without wetting their whistle too. You can't, like, it's hard for channels to even do movie reviews anymore. It's gotten so out of hand, Kind of drifted away from movie channels. Although I try to avoid critics altogether these days. Like, I love Red Letter Media. I still watch Red Letter Media, but I tend to try and focus on their best of the worst videos, and I try to, focus on stuff that I know won't rile me up and get me mad. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really interested in hearing critics or other YouTubers' opinions on movies and TV shows if all they're going to do is bash them for like 20 minutes. A valid criticism is one thing. Making a 45-minute movie or video about why the newest, latest movie in a franchise was awful. That no, no, no. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. How did they climb up here to get the graffiti, to do the graffiti without a ladder? I had to use a ladder to get up here. It's going to turn out to be the mayor doing this the whole time, isn't it? That would be funny. Oh my God, how did I miss so much? I don't get it. I was very methodical with it. I went down in rows. Well, that is not coming off. Interesting. Boy, that is really baked into my brain. The musical sting from Austin Powers. It lives rent free in my head, and those movies are so old at this point. Turned into a Goron at this point. Really? Ping. Tapped it and it pinged. I tell you what I'm craving, and something that I haven't thought about in years, or at least I haven't thought about in a while. I miss the old, I'm kind of nostalgic lately for the old way of getting video game news from back in the day. E3 every year. Every summer used to be, oh, I wonder what games we're going to get announced. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. I kind of miss that. It's all compartmentalized now. It's all of the companies do their own like presentations throughout the year. so you don't really have to wait for about one time a year anymore. It sucks. It was like Christmas every year, waiting to see what your favorite game company or studio or developer was going to put out. You know, I miss that. Those are exciting times. Never forget what they took from us. Never forget. Never forget. Let's say how. How is there still dirt? How? Anything? 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 Anything. Damn. Look at me go. I can't tell if that's just gold shining or if it's orange. I think it's just orange. Oh God. Nah, it's not gonna ping. If you want to help people quit smoking, give them a copy of this game and say, go clean your lungs. And see what they say. Damn, that is dirt after all. Okay. Okay, no biggie. I got this. Don't fall. Oh Lord. What the hell? hit you from this angle. Oh, it's a little hard to get this spot. Hard, but not impossible. Okay. Now, as far as I knew, I should take care of this entire middle section minus the gnomes. Gnomes. Which are going to be hard as shit to get. Well, there's also all of this stuff too, I guess. Nah. There's a city truck going very slowly up and down my road. I don't know what they're doing. What you doing, fellers? Oh, come on. This we can't ping? You ping everything else unfairly. You can't ping this one? Come on. He's clean. Come on. Come on. Stupid no good gnomes. Ruining my good clean fountain. Wrong. Ping. Oh, you bitch. What could possibly be left that's dirty? Crotchal area. Crotchal. Okay. Interesting choice of words. Hey, you. Oh, fuck me. He's going to be dirty from the other side, isn't he? God damn it. Hey! Hey! Shit. He's really dirty. Really dirty. Really dirty. Let's see. How can I best get you? Well, there's that. Okay. Hit. No. You're a dirty little man. Yeah, ear was enough. 94%. Damn. All right. We're getting there. Josh Reeves. You, Mr. Foot. Careful. Nice. Nice. Okay, Mr. Ladder. Wait. Wait a minute. Huh. I was like, how do I get up here? The blood fountain. I found the best way to start a new area, or at least the way I like to do it, is plant yourself in one spot and then just kind of work around until you have to move to a new spot. Of course, it doesn't always work. Sometimes I'll start cleaning one spot and then get sidetracked by another spot. That happens more often than not. But ideally, this is how I would like to do it. Plant my flag, base of operations, right here in this spot. Get to work. And move out from there. Make sure to get the side too. That's going to be a whole thing. We might be able to finish this bad boy up today. Took us a whole 2 hours, but we got there. Oh, my arm. Ooh. Oh, no. See dirt right in there. Right in the little crevice. I'm just laying further and further back as time goes on. Gonna be that South Park meme of the guy who's like, ooh. Okay. Now, let me get right up in there. All the dirt under the eave of this thing. Oh my God. Missed a whole bunch right here. Almost. Almost. I didn't mean to jump up here like a frog. Oh, he has a little crown. He must be the king gnome. The gnome king. My ass. Oh. No. Well, you're a tough cookie to crack, aren't you? Oh, there we go. All right, from here. Looks like we got some stuff on the outskirts. Yeah, the ledge is pretty hard to lean. Okay. What remains? Hmm. Auto raw decorations. I'm looking. I'm looking. Outer wall decoration. Okay. I didn't see anything. Yeah, nothing is up. Up there you are. Okay. Lower pool floor. Yeah, but where? That tiny little speck? That teeny tiny little speck? Oh. Guess I kind of did leave a little smudge there, didn't I? Yeah! We did it! We cleaned that entire giant ass fountain. It only took 5 episodes. I guess I more or less do it in somewhat of a methodical order, even though if it doesn't look like it on the surface right away. Fill this with fresh water. Plop in a few carp and a sprinkle of nickels and dimes and call it the Muckingham Wash Station. Or Wish Station. Place will be paying for itself in no time. Much obliged. Well, as long as I get paid for doing what you love. Boom, baby.